Okay, we are going to start on one blue spring and we're going to start standing in front of your machine. So, making sure your foot bar is set up where it needs to be. You can stand right in front of the foot bar, take a big breath in, exhale, roll through the spine, hands come to the carriage and you're inhaling. Press away, exhale, pull the carriage in. If blue feels too heavy, you can do yellow just to go a little deeper into the stretch there, not too straining on the shoulders. Inhale, as you flatten the back, lengthen the spine, try to keep the hips over the feet. So you're just moving that carriage forwards and backwards with the round and straightening of your spine. Arms stay straight, legs are straight, scoop those abs in and then extend out. It's like a standing cat-cow. One more. Inhale, lengthen, and then scoop those abs, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Take a big inhale, and then exhale, roll down to the carriage again, hands to the very edge. This time, stretch out that spine and release your arm, twist open. You can look to the top, hand up to the ceiling. Come back to center, round the back and come in. We'll go over to your other side. Lengthen out through that spine. Keep pressing away with the hand that's in the carriage as you rotate. One more. Press away, release one arm, keep reaching with the other arm in opposite directions. Just a little bit of rotation through your thoracic spine as you lengthen out your spine. Look with the head and then bring that carriage all the way backward, rounding through your spine. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Take a breath here. So we'll stay on the light spring. So I've got yellow, so change it to yellow spring. You want the lightest spring. We'll just get into some standing arm work. We are going to stand in a split lunge position. So you have the left foot forward, right foot back. You're going to pick up the hand strap. All we're going to do is row. So you're going to have like a 90-90 lunge squat. And you're just going to pull the rope towards you with that arm and shoulder. If you want more resistance, you can take the small loop to get the row, or you just walk it back to the foot bar. Try to keep bending of the legs as you row here, so practice balance, a bit of isometric contraction through those leg muscles. Abs are engaged. Bend those legs, but lift that chest nice and tall. Use your other hand for balance as you are rowing with one arm. Pull the elbow back. Careful not to flare the ribs. No rotation here. You're just rowing with one arm. Pull it back. Lengthen out. One more. And then you can stand up. Shake your legs out. This time you're going to switch over with the hand. So the outside hand has your handle. You're coming back to that 90-90 split lunge. So bend both legs, find your balance here, face the back of the machine. Hand comes behind your head. You're going to row with that outside arm and rotate away from the reformer. So you're rowing and then you add a little bit of a twist through the shoulders. Just like you did when you were warming up with the cat-cow, now adding rotation with the shoulders, that thoracic spine, those legs, the pelvis stay facing forwards to the back of the machine. Let's do two more. Twist and pull with that outside shoulder and arm. Elbow stays narrow, and then you can stand yourself up, shake your legs out. Let's go over to the other side. So just a bit of standing arm work to get moving. So outside foot is in front, that's my right foot. Leg is closest to the machine. You're bent in both knees and then hold the small loop or the big loop depending on what resistance you want to. have on the arm and the shoulder. Find your balance. Row just with that arm. Pull the elbow back. Keep the elbow close to the rib cage. Lift out of the chest and then scoop those abs, making sure that pelvis stays tucked underneath you so you're not arching through the back as you're doing this row. You can always hold more rope or take it back a step. Let's do 2 more with that row. Inside arm is rowing. And then you can straighten the legs, stand up and shake your legs out. Switch the hand, so the outside hand has your rope now. Same leg position, outside foot is forwards. Hand behind your head, and we then rotate. Careful with the balance as you just rotate through the shoulders and the thoracic spine. Scoop those abs, tuck your tailbone underneath you. As you pull back, you can look with the head and the neck, see how far you can twist without that pelvis twisting, without the knees wobbling and the legs wobbling. Keep that hand pressing into the back of the head to keep nice and tall. Let's do 1 more, and then you let the rope release, straighten your legs, shake them out. You can peg that strap. So now we've warmed up our arms and we've done some standing work. Let's sit down, come to your reformer. Let's do some footwork. We're going to do some single leg footwork. So let's just do 2 reds and the yellow, or you can do 2 reds and the blue. So blue will be heavier, but you have 3 springs. I've got 2 reds and a yellow. We'll see how we go with our footwork. Let's go into heel on the foot bar, 1 leg to tabletop. Find that neutral spine and off we go here. With flexed feet, you're straightening it out and bending in. Push and pull. So this actually feels quite comfortable, not too heavy. Just getting moving here. I think maybe I could do 2 reds and a blue, but we'll see how we go. Just to warm up, let's straighten both legs and bend. Lengthening the legs and tuck the knees into a 90-degree position. Legs straighten, legs bend. Let's keep the legs straight. We're going to lower the leg down and lift the leg up. You're scissoring through one leg as you continue to straighten and bend through the other leg. Pressing the heel into the foot bar, keeping those feet flexed. We'll do 2 more here. Go all the way out, come all the way in, and then you can switch the legs over. Other heel comes to your foot bar, align your legs in tabletop, and just start to bend and straighten through your other leg. Lengthen through the spine here. You can lift the head rest up if you want a bit of head and neck support as we do this leg and foot work. Both ankles are active, flexing your feet. Let's straighten both legs now, 1 leg up to the ceiling, the other leg bending and straightening here. Careful not to hike the hips. As you lengthen out, stretch through that hamstring. Now we keep the leg straight, it lowers to the foot bar, it lifts straight up. So you're lowering hand, lifting 1 leg. Keep that core engaged so the pelvis doesn't start to tip forwards and backwards. 1 more here. And bend that leg and come in. Take a breath. Move it to the balls of the feet. Switching back over now, so back to the original ball of your foot, and we're going to start to straighten and bend through this leg. Let's add a lift and a lower, so we go into that triple extension of the ankle, knee, hip. Straighten the leg, drop the heel, lift through that heel, come all the way in with the heel nice and high, or about 1 inch. Press out, drop the heel, lift the heel, lower. Let's reach that other leg over the foot bar now. As you can add the heel drop, as you bend your leg, it goes over the foot bar.
Still adding that lift and lower of your heel, working on that foot bar, but now the other leg is just going in the opposite direction of the bend and straight. We're doing one more here. Push into the ball of the foot and come all the way in. Switch it over. Let's start with leg in tabletop as we start to straighten and bend through the other leg. Add that calf raise, so down and up with the heel, bend the leg and come in. Press out, drop the heel, lift the heel, pull in. You can add the other leg extension over the foot bar and then keep it in tabletop as you do the heel lift and lower. Don't forget about that heel drop, lift, reach the other leg over the foot bar as you come into the front of the machine. Mindful of the hips hiking here. We've got 3 more on this side. 2 more. 1 more here. Push away. And then let's bring both feet to your foot bar. Join the heels together. We're going to bend your knees. You're going to come into your small V as you do just a little bit of a plie here. Then you'll take one leg up and off your foot bar. Continue to press out, but both legs are in external rotation now. Straightening and bending, get that turn out, knees over the toes. Keep those hips nice and steady. 2 more, pushing into the ball of the foot in external rotation through the leg. Switch it over. You can start with a few small V's, and then once you've got your positioning, just lift your leg up to that frog, that tabletop in the turn out. Press out, pull in here. Keep neutral through that pelvis. Keep the knees tracking over the toes. Keep that heel lifted as you are straightening and bending through the leg. And then let's come all the way in. Both balls of the feet to your foot bar. We'll run the legs out a little here, just up and down. Stretching through our calf muscles. Lifting along the heels. Now let's stay parallel. Let's just lift one leg up. We're going to do 5 heel lifts up and down 5 times. Focus on the descent down under the foot bar. Then push through that ball of the foot. Slowly drop. Lift. And then after 5, switch it over. Other foot on the foot bar. We lift up. We slowly go down. Press away. And then resist as your heel drops. 3 more on this side. Nice and strong through the calf, a nice stretch through the back of the leg. And when you are done, come all the way in. Take the feet wide, you can take a little twist through the pelvis. You can rotate through the head and the neck. Releasing through that spine, through those hips. All right, now our legs are warmed up. We're going to come into a little bit of abdominal work. We'll come into some stomach massage. So we sit ourselves up. We need to be on a red and a blue spring. So take off what you had for footwork. 2 springs, 1 red, 1 blue. Now stomach massage is all about those abdominals stabilizing us as we move. We can lower your foot bar 1, just so it's a little angled away. You're going to sit at the very front edge of your carriage and your legs will come up like rolling like a ball. You'll be in a small V, heels together, balls of the feet on your foot bar. You really want to tuck here, so you're really holding onto the edge of the carriage. Get the chest close to those knees, and then you're going to press your legs straight, drop the heels, lift the heels, come all the way in, knees to chest. Try to maintain that C curve of the spine, so you're really stretching through the spine as we do this exercise. Try to scoot forward so you're really sitting on the very edge of your carriage, maintaining a C curve of the spine. Push into the balls of the feet, lift, lower the heels, come in. Try not to lengthen that spine for this first exercise. Just lightly gripping on the front edge of that carriage, really scooping, hollowing out your abs as you push your legs straight. One more here. Press, lift, lower, and you can set your feet down for a moment. Lift that chest, stretch out through the front of the abs. Now let's try version 2. This time our hands come to the shoulder blocks. Your hands can be turned away or fingertips can be turned towards you. Still the same setup, sitting on the front edge of the carriage. Knees to chest, heels together. You're kind of really compressing into the hip flexors, but we straighten out your spine now, so you really sit tall. As you lift and lower the heels, pull yourself all the way in. Press away, lower and lift. Turn out the hands. If you need to bend your arms, it's fine, but be mindful of the shoulders. Try not to pop them forwards. Relax those shoulders away from your ears. Pull the belly deep as we lift and lower your heels, turning out through those hips. Let's do 2 more. Press, lift, lower, and come in. Last one. Lengthen out through that spine and rest for a moment here. Rounding that spine, you can hook the hands to the foot bar to stretch out through the shoulders. So that's a little bit of an awkward one to get into, but you're really rounding the back on the first one, hollowing out the abs. The second one, you're straightening the spine, lifting that chest. We'll do a little bit more through our abs. Let's go into some leg work before we come into some side lying work. You want to lift your foot bar up again, so it's up high, lock it into place. 2 red springs. Let's see how we go 2 reds. You're going to lay on your side, lay all the way down. Your bottom leg is going to be bent underneath you. You can rest your head on a pillow or rest your head on the hand. We're going to have the leg on the foot bar right at the very edge here. We're just going to start to press out into your leg and come in. It's like a single leg squat. Work through the back of the hamstring and glute, bend the leg and come in. Think about that underneath side, staying active so you're not collapsing into that oblique. Shoulders stay plugged down. Just pressing out here, resist to come in. Pressing out, push into that heel. Those toes can hang off the edge of that foot bar. Nice parallel alignment with your leg. And then we come to turn out. Turn out from your hip, mindful of rolling back into that pelvis. You can take the hand to that hip as you then flex your foot. Press into that heel, which is on the foot bar. Toes reaching to the ceiling. Knees reach up to the ceiling. Lifting through both sides of the waist here. Nice and active through that spine as you bend and straighten. In the turnout, start to use your glute med to press into that heel. We have 1 more here. Out and in. Now, ball of the foot comes to your foot bar. You're rotating internally. Heel is lifted, knees are touching, and then we press out. We pull in. Work now through internal rotators of the hip. Try to keep the heel lifted up to the ceiling, away from the foot bar. Push into your foot bar, straightening and slowly bending that leg. So working the internal rotators of the hip. Pelvis is not moving here, just the leg in that hip socket. Let's do 3 more. Push away, really targeting that leg. 1 more here. And come all the way in. Take a breath. You can roll to your back. We can do that on our other side. Take a figure 4 stretch if you want to as you transition. So bring that foot over your knee and thigh. Open out that knee. Flex that foot and just stretch through that top outer thigh. Roll it over to the other side. Let's repeat. Set yourself up, laying on your carriage. Get those hips close to the edge. Nice straight spine. Head can be supported with a pillow or the arm. Top leg comes right in front of that foot bar. Bottom leg is bent. We flex your foot and you're just bending and straightening through your leg. Top leg nice and parallel here. Pressing out, pulling in, lifting through the bottom side of your waist. Shoulders don't creep up to the ear here. Nice and active through that spine. Nice active through that foot. Let's do 3 and 2 more. 1 more here. And then we turn our leg out in external rotation. Just pivot that foot. Heel is still connected into the foot bar. Now we're pressing out and in with the toes turned up, the knees turned up, but the hips not rolling back. That top hip stays stacked on top of the bottom hip. The shoulders stay stacked on top of one another as you bend and straighten through that top leg. All the way out, all the way in. Couple more here. And then we will come into internal rotation. So the ball of the foot comes to that foot bar, heel turns up, knee turns down, lengthen through the waist here and press into the ball of the foot. Keep that heel lifted, keep that heel reaching to the ceiling. Try to get your legs to meet and then press away. Push into that foot bar. Really try to get internal rotation of that leg and its hip socket. All the way straight here. 2 more. 1 more. And rest for a moment. Roll onto your back, take a figure 4 with that top leg. You can just lay down or sit up for that figure 4 stretch. Relax through the hip there, stretch through that side of the glute. Breathing here. We're going to do a bit of box work now. We need our box on the carriage in a short box position. So sit yourself up, grab your box, place it in front of your shoulder blocks. So it's aligned to the shoulder blocks. Now we need our foot bar down. Lower that foot bar, make sure it's locked into place. And we want 1 red spring on your machine. You can always do 1 blue. It will be lighter on the carriage. We're coming into some plank work. So pick your spring. Red will be heavier and give you more support. Blue will be harder on your core stability, but easier on the shoulders. We're going to start. You can have your feet on the platform or feet on the foot bar. Pick your position, you'll find out where you need to be once you get going. So, forearms on your box, keep them parallel, don't just join the hands together because the shoulders will roll in. Shoulders plugged down, forearms on your box. You're going to lift the hips and then start to lengthen out, press out, parallel legs, bend in. Straighten your legs, keep the hips low, keep the shoulders away from the ears and don't sink into the scapula as we do some forearm planking here. Pressing out, pulling in. If you want to take it to that foot bar, you can do, you'll get a little bit more reach of the legs, but then not so much tucking of the legs here. So depending on the length of those legs, you'll be either on that foot bar or on the platform. Last time, drop 1 knee down and carefully come in. Move 1 leg and the other leg at a time when we're doing this plank work. Take a breath here. We're going to come into pike to plank now. So your feet will be on the foot bar or feet will be on this platform. Forearms back on your box. Push yourself out into a forearm plank. Find where you need to be. You're going to lift your hips up. The carriage comes in. Lower those hips down. Belly's pulling in and up. Shoulders stay over your elbows here. Forearms are parallel to one another. As you lower your hips, keep those heels reaching back away from you. Don't let those heels lift up to the ceiling. Keep them reaching to that foot bar, down to the floor. We've got 2 more here. Lower with control, lift that sternum up to the spine so you're not collapsing into the shoulder blades. The head is lifted. And then bend your legs carefully, lower down. Take a rest here. Our last thing will be an external rotation. So your heels will come together in that small V, frog. Forearms back on your box. You're going to lift your knees, straighten your legs. In external rotation here, hips stay low. You're going to bend your knees, turn the hips out, turn the knees out. Straightening your legs. So keep those heels together. Squeeze through those glutes to zip the legs up. Pull the belly deep. Let's do 3 more here. Turning out, hips stay low as you bend your legs and come in. Now we stay out. Let's move through the shoulders. You can turn to parallel if it's more comfortable with your legs, or keeping turn out, but you're hinging through the shoulder joint. Hands go forward, hands come back. Box goes forward, box comes back. Let's do 5. Take a rest when you need. Keep those hips low for 4. 3 more. Moving through the shoulders, lift through that chest. Last 2. 1 more. And come in, bend your legs carefully, lower down. Take a rest here. Ooh, good planking on the box. All right, we are going to keep that box on the carriage, but let's spin it around to long box position. Again, against those shoulder blocks. Let's add the red and the yellow and take off the blue. Well, I was on a blue. If you were on a red, just add the yellow. So I work with the blue for the planking, but you can have red. Now for arm work, I'm on a red and a yellow. I'm sitting on my box and I've got my hand straps in front of me. I'm just going to come into some chest expansion. Seated, nice straight spine here. Keep the shoulders over your hips. If you want to take the small loops, you can for more resistance. But try not to let the shoulders roll forwards here. So lift out of the chest, pull the belly in and up. Keep the head over the shoulders, reaching to the ceiling. Little movement now. Press back, look to the left and right, and then let the hands come forward. Press back. Head and neck is moving, shoulders are not. Push back, look with the eyes, and then let the hands come forward. Just a little bit of cervical spine rotation. Now let's take the eyes up and down. Eyes go up, eyes go down, hands come forward. Need longer loops. So press back. Keep the arms there as your head goes up and down. Then the hands come forward. Push back. Keep those arms straight and reaching. 1 more with the head nod up and down. And then take a rest here. Okay, we're going to come into some bicep work. Feet can be resting on your headrest. You're going to round through the spine to scoop those abdominals. Turn the palms up. And let's bicep curl here. Elbows stay shoulder height. Arms are straightening and bending. Now, if you want to challenge, you extend one leg and the other leg. So you're scooping those abdominals as you do the bicep curl. You can always take the small loops of the hand straps as well. Let's do 3 and 2. 1 more. And lower your hands. Feet can come back. Take a rest here. All right, let's spin ourselves around on our box now. We might need to lighten it just to 1 blue spring. So take off the red and the yellow, put on one blue. One blue spring to face forward. You're going to straddle the box now. Find where you need to be on the box. The closer to your shoulder rests, the easier it will be. We're going to come into our hug a tree. So hug those legs around the box. Take those hands in front of you as you hug an imaginary tree trunk. Open those arms. You can take the small loops if you need more resistance, or sit further forward on your box. Exhale, pull the belly in and up as your hands come forwards. Inhale, open the arms, keep that chest lifted. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1 more. And lower those arms for a moment, take a rest here. We'll finish our arm work on this box with a little bit of extension forward, so it's like serving a tray. We have the hands facing up, palms are up, elbows into the waist, sit tall as you reach your arms forwards, bend your elbows back into your rib cage. Arms are reaching and then come back, like you're serving and offering a tray and then pulling it back. Spine stays nice and straight, shoulders want to be over your hips, not hinging forward as those hands go forwards. 1 more time here. And lower those arms, take a rest. We'll add those 2 things together just for 5. So you're going to reach those hands forward, open into that hug a tree, bend your elbows, come back. 4 more. Straight arms out, arms open, arms close, and come back to your center. Reach. Soft bend of your elbows as you open and close. 2 more times. Keep those shoulders gliding down, your back away from those ears for your last one. Sitting tall. And rest there. You can peg those straps. And let's lift your foot bar up now. We'll just come into a little bit of back extension. So foot bar all the way up. We'll climb onto your box and switch it to a red spring. So 1 red spring, hands to your foot bar, chest off the front edge of your box there. We're just going to push away. Inhale, lift and hinge up, lower down and come all the way in. Press away. Inhale, shoulders glide down as you lift through your upper back. Look forwards as you inhale and come up. And then look down to those springs as you lower. Those legs stay lifted and active here. Pull the belly in, lengthen through your spine so you don't collapse and dump into that lower back. Inhaling and exhale. 1 more time. Now we can stay in, or you can straighten your arms with swimming out your legs. So straighten the arms if you want to, a little lift through your upper back and then swim those legs. Inhale. And exhale, shoulders down, head is lifted, paddling your legs right from those hamstrings and glutes. 1 more time here, and then lower all the way down. Second set, repeat if you would like, otherwise you're going to lift up. Now add your arms, they just float over your foot bar, still lift and swim here. Inhale and exhale, look down over that foot bar, but lift from the back of the head and the shoulders as you paddle the arms and the legs. Let's do 2 more breaths in and out. 1 more. And slower down. Rest your hands on your foot bar, bend your legs there and swing your legs off your box to the floor. We are at 34 minutes, so just take a quick stretch. You can I'll come around, do a little bit of a pigeon stretch while that box is on your reformer, and just open out through those hips. Breathing here. And Another foot on the box, open that knee, hinge it forward. And take a big stretch up to the ceiling, inhale, and lower down. All right, that was 35 minutes of moving. Good work.